Okay. Okay.
Welcome, Mage. I'm Rhino, and we're gonna be making commander decks with the worst commanders, and
So we're going to be opening up these packs, or not all of them. We'll open up, like 10 of them or so. And because, hey, these are draft boosters, so we're going to draft them. But let's find some really bad commanders.
oh yeah.
All right. So let's see here. I think we are streaming. I think things are going. So you go ahead and start opening up a pack or two, and I will see if. Oh, come on. I don't want to watch any of this stuff. Turn it off.
Alright. Oh man. Yeah, mythic rare.
Okay, well, we're gonna put them out to the side of the world spell, and that is the legendary creature for this.
Is there any more legendaries? No. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. Foil, legendary, and oh, another legendary. Is there any more legendaries? No. Alright. So far, open up 2 packs. And we got 3 legendaries. I did not get that one open.
Okay. It's open.
There.
I will crack them and pass them back.
Okay. We aren't gonna do the entire boom booster box.
No.
There's a rare.
Well, yeah, pull out the rares.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Ooh, a nice rare land. The Adakar Wastes.
And that's all of the
Okay.
rares.
And the legendary? Okay. Yeah, I'll crack that one for you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's enough.
Oh, and that's a juicy one.
It is? Yeah.
Mythic Rift.
Yeah. Rith. Liberated primeval. Primal. Other dragons you control have Ward 2. Okay. Yeah, some of those are good. Some of those are really good. Yeah, just find a nice spot to.
Okay.
Yeah, just pile it there.
Okay.
What?
That's a legendary artifact.
Yep. This is the Timeless Lotus.
Timeless Lotus.
Yeah. Junk card. Junk.
Oh yeah, junk. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. You go ahead, keep going. I'm going to pull out things like tokens and lands over here.
Okay. Alright, let's see.
I'm glad they redid Lightning Strike. We're actually running low on Lightning Strikes. That was one of those ones that we ended up putting in a lot of the new player decks that we made. And decent spell.
Oh, that's a mythic.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot. These packs have a lot of buddy lands in them.
There's rare. And another legendary.
Those. That should be enough packs to open. Wait. Ah,
Hey!
the High Cyborg.
Hi! And so what we're doing is we are finding the worst commanders
Out of these packs.
out of these packs. Yeah.
And we're going to build a deck around it. So it might be just a conceptual deck to start off with, because we may not, well, we can't put our hands on all the cards at the moment. but at least it'll give people an idea of thought processes for building decks. Okay. Okay, there's that. So we will be pulling up all of those commanders here in a bit, and we'll go down the list and figure out which ones are bad.
That's such really strange of which ones are bad.
Well, the point here is that even though the vast majority of people say, "Oh, that's a bad commander," I mean, it can still be a fun deck. You can. You decided to stream, but camera went out. Well, we decided to stream, and updates came in. Things didn't want to start, and gee. Sometimes you get to the point where it's like, no, I don't want any more updates. Okay, so let's figure out. Let's go through the rares that you've got so far. So, now,
that's a mythic rare.
Yes, that is a legendary creature. I'm talking just the basic rares. So, Valiant Veteran, the Elder Dragon War, Down Mine Singer, the Phasing of Zafir, Temporal Firestorm, Timeless Lotus, Temporary Lockdown, Adakar Wastes, and the World Spell. I don't know what value these things are at present. We rarely care about value of cards because hey, they all came out of a pack, so that's what we're going with. But if you're interested, we can come up with values of these cards at present, but I'm not worried about it.
Okay, I'm gonna go over the legendaries.
Okay.
Zur, Eternal, and Schemer.
Okay, so let's find out what he does, and we will give him. Let's do a scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. So
that's definitely 5 star.
Okay, are you sure? Because it is a 3 color. It is white, blue, and black, flying, and enchantment creatures you control have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Hexproof. And target non-aura enchantment you control becomes a creature in addition to its other types, and has base power and toughness equal to its mana value. So you think that's a 5? Or
maybe
or a 4?
4.
Okay.
Probably a 4.
Okay.
Okay. Aron Bonus Rune.
Okay.
As Menace. I can untap Orzhov, and I sacrifice another creature and put on counter on each creature you control. 1 black and 3 white. Actually 2 white.
Okay. So this is put a counter on stuff?
Put a counter, yes.
Okay. It's Menace. I mean, it's 2 white and a black. Those are a little bit more difficult to cast as opposed to a 2-color commander. Menace is pretty cool, and but you have to pay Orzhov and tap it to put a 1/1 counter
Oh,
on. I'm thinking it is somewhere in here. It's a 2 or a 3.
I think the 3 because
Okay.
of the menace.
Okay. I mean, it has some protection. All right.
Garna, Bloodfest, Blood Feast of Guild. It's 4, 1 colorless, 1 black, and 2 red. Whenever another creature you control dies, draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, Ngarna deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Okay, let's see.
And
Here.
it's a 4/3.
So, yeah, it's a 4-drop. 4/3. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. It's a 3-drop, 3/3. Draw a card if it was attacking. Otherwise, I don't know. This seems to be probably better than this. It may not be as good as that. But it is a 4-drop commander. So, I don't know. I would probably put it on the 3 pile as well.
Okay. Baird, Aggravating Recruiter. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greatest and greater than the base power, create 1/1 soldier.
Okay. Baird.
Baird.
Okay, this is a 2-color commander.
Yes.
2-color, 2/2, so it can come out fast. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its base power, create a 1/1 white soldier. Okay, that's not for each. That's just for one. So basically, if you've got a counter on something, then you create a soldier each turn.
Ooh.
So that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But really, I mean, it is a 2-drop, 2/2, so it is probably not in this upper tier here.
So we're looking for number 1.
Well, yeah, we're looking for the lowest out of this group. Okay.
Urg and Spawn of Turg. It's equal. Its power is equal to a number of lands in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, I'll look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, and I can do Gruul, sacrifice a land, and you gain 2 life.
Okay. So it is Gruul. It's a 3-drop, star 5.
Star 5. Yeah.
Its power equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard and sacrifice a land. You gain 2 life. Okay. This one is it's not a great commander in the sense of what shows up right here. The fact that its power is equal to the number of lands. Okay, it comes out. You're probably going to be at least a 2 or a 3, depending. But, oh, actually, no, it's the number of lands in your graveyard. So it'll come out as like a 0/5 a lot of times.
Yeah.
Unless you have a bunch of land in the deck. Talking like 70 land.
Oh.
Could we potentially do... I mean, this is a bad card for a lot of reasons. It's good if you like sacrificing land. It's good if... I mean, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard. Ashley says hi.
Hi.
So, yeah, if you've got something going on where you want cards in your graveyard, then this is a reasonable commander for it. It's not going to be a very powerful commander. I think it's probably in this 1 or 2 range. All right, next one.
All right. Rona. Shieldred's Faithful. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life. You may cast Rona from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards. In addition to paying the other costs.
Okay. So it is a 4-drop with Dimir in it, with 2 black. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 1 life. You may cast Rona from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying its other cost. So if this goes into the graveyard, it's you discard 2 cards, and then you still have to pay 4 to bring it out. If it goes into the graveyard.
Those are the same.
Okay. This one's pretty decent. Because I mean, this is a Spellslinger deck. You want to, yeah. This is like all instants and sorceries.
All right.
I would put this in the 4 range.
Okay. Rift. As a 5-drop, flying Ward of 2. Other dragons you control have Ward of 2. At the beginning of your next step,
It's here. It's actually maybe up here. I mean, we're talking if you're building a dragon's deck, giving them a ward of 2, and then all your dragons get ward 2, and if a creature or planeswalker in opponent control was dealt excess damage this turn, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. Yeah, this is a 4/5 range.
All right. I don't know how to.
Okay. Vortex. Bone Rattle. Okay, this is 4 and Golgari. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, choose target creature card in your graveyard. Return that card to the battlefield if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of basic land types among the lands you control. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Okay, this is a 6-drop, but you are pulling things out of your graveyard. That's good.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's obviously good.
Braids. At the beginning of your end step, and you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it for each opponent. Who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life.
Okay. So, yeah, this is Braids, Arisen Nightmare. I mean, this is, hey, you're sacrificing things. You probably want to have a graveyard, a recurring thing with that. Plus this, I mean, that's pretty impressive. That is a 3 or a 4.
Put it in 4.
Okay. And I can see a lot of people building decks around that.
Alright, the last one is Arata Coalition Warlord.
Coalition.
It's a 4-drop and scroll 33. Whenever it becomes tapped, another target creature you control and gets +X/+X until on turn, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Yeah, this is a pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Those were just. Don't forget those legends as well. And we were going to do the ones that we did from the draft that we did as well.
Oh.
All right. And I forgot to pull them out, so.
Plan 4.
Okay. All right. So we've got what, 4 or 5 more to go through? Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Lagmo's Hand of Hatred. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a 2/1 elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. You can tap it, search your library for a card, put it to your hand, and then shuffle. Activate only if you only have 5 more lands.
Okay. So it's a 3-drop, 1/3. You make a token each turn, each combat. And you can tap it and search your library for a card. Put it into your hand, then shuffle.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean.
But you have to have 5 lands.
Oh yeah, how difficult is that? All right, next one.
Okay, Varar. It's Demir. And tap it, draw a card, then discard card. If you discard instant or sorcery, this way each opponent loses 1 life and gain 1 life. And you can do sacrifice it. You may cast instant sorcery, a card from your oh man.
Okay. So 2, you sacrifice it. You may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If it would be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Activate this as a sorcery. Okay. So this allows you to reoccur your instants and sorceries in Dimir. It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
I don't think that is amazing, but it is pretty decent. Next one.
Alright. Rivaz of the Claw. Has Menace. And tap it at 2 mana of any in combination of colors. Spend this mana to cast Dragon and creature spells. Once each of your turns, you may cast a dragon and creature spell from your graveyard. Whenever you cast a dragon spell from your graveyard, it gains when the creature dies, exile it.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Ugh.
This is a horrible, right? It's there somewhere. All right.
Alright. Wrath. Will I stalwart? Whenever you cast instant or sorcery, you may tap into untap creature you control and draw a card. And you can do 5, 2 white, 3 creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until that turn.
This one, okay. This one right here is on the lower end. And here's why it's on the lower end. Okay. It is a 2-drop 1/3. Now it is when you cast an instant or sorcery, you can tap 2 untapped creatures. Okay, so the deck requires a lot of instants and sorceries and a lot of creatures as well.
Oh, okay.
In order to get that capability going. And then this right here, now this is a pump. So you could do, if you have a bunch of land, I mean, it's a 5. Your creatures get +1/+1 and gain vigilance. Yeah, you could do it multiple times, but that's for 5. Yeah, you might be able to get 2, maybe 3 out of that, but you're tapping 15 mana to get a +3 for all your creatures. And at the same time, you're trying to have a bunch of instants and sorceries. This is a deck building nightmare here.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Tatiova.
Okay. Land creatures you control have flying. Whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, if you control 7 more lands, up to 1 target land becomes 3/3 elemental with haste. It's still a land.
Okay. So this is Simic with 3. You get a 3/3. Land creatures have flying. Okay. But you have to have 7 or more land to have land creatures. Okay. Now, this one right here, there are already some land creatures you can have. Plus, there's things like Vitu-Ghazi that can create a land creature. So, yeah, you cast Vitu-Ghazi, and it's a land creature with flying. This on the surface, it looks kind of but really, we can make a pretty decent deck out of that. So what we're going to do, I'm reasonably certain that these are probably in this order.
Okay.
Okay. Number 1, yeah, I'm thinking that this is worst to best out of our worsts right here. Okay. So if you're in the chat,
and
you want to pick one of these, 1, 2, 3, or 4, because 5 doesn't exist. These are really good ones. Let's see which one we would want to build. Do we want to do Wrath, Weatherlight Stalwart, who's a Zorius, and basically you have to have lots of creatures and lots of instants and sorceries.
You need like mill for that.
Yeah, and that's Urg. It's the Frog Beast, and he plays around with lands and stuff like that. The Boros guy, Baird, Dard. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power greater than its basic, then you create a 1/1 white soldier token. That's
pretty decent.
well, it's reasonable. It's not a powerful commander. There's some things that I'm thinking of is like, hey, if you have like was it Divine Visitation, where you can when you create a token, it becomes a 4/4 angel.
Oh.
Yeah, something like that would be cool in that deck. Anything that would double trigger and you get bolt. It's like the what was the Amonkhet card? The Anointed Procession, where you can double up the tokens. Panharmonicon, Doubling Season, those sorts of things. Well, Doubling Season won't work in this deck, but stuff like that would. And then Tatiova, that would. That may do it. I don't know. We could roll a dice if you want.
Yeah.
So. Oh no, it didn't do anything.
Okay. Let's see.
Let's roll a d20. Okay. So what we will do is this is 1 to 5, 5 to 6 to 10, 11 to 15, and 16 to 20.
Okay.
And we will roll and
19.
Tatiova. Do you or do you think that's too good?
I think that's too good.
Yeah, okay, you sure? I'm gonna do best. If you roll it again, then it's meant to be.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
Meant to be. All right.
What?
Okay, so hand me the card real quick. What I'm going to do is I am going to shift over to this. And
Why?
all right, so let's put in TATYO. Okay, Steward of the Ties. All right, so let us go ahead and add that to our deck right there.
Okay.
And actually, I could probably let me make this thing a little bigger.
I really want to play Erg, but
Okay. Well, I mean, let's do that, and we can still build an Erg deck.
Yeah.
So we will do Erg kind of off stream or off balance and whatever, something like that. So I'm going to pop this. All right. Why won't? Okay, there. So we've got that. And what we're going to do is, okay, land creatures you control have flying. So let us do, all right, off screen, what I'm doing is I'm bringing up Scryfall. So what we can do is we can look at the lands. So
like weird landscape.
yeah, LAND land and oops, LAND type land. Okay, it needs to be blue or green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Blue or green, at most these colors. Oh, wait a second. No, lands don't have a color. Yeah, so we'll turn that off. And then what we do is we're looking for a land that says something like creature. So let's do that search. Sacrifice, distribute 1/1 counters among target creatures you control. Let's see here. We want Busejo, no. Raytag, Stronghold. All right, this isn't in the colors. Let's see here. Tapped. Okay. I'm thinking about around Oath of the Gatewatch. They had Hissing Quagmire. They had there was a Simic land. That's what I'm looking for right now. I don't remember it right offhand. Lumbering Falls.
Lumbering Falls, yeah.
Yeah. So Lumbering Falls. Okay. Lumber. Lumbering Falls. Okay, so Lumbering Falls is definitely in this deck.
Oh yeah.
And I mean it's what is it? A 21-cent card. Let's see. Oran Reef of the Vastwood. Put 1/1 counter on each green creature that enters the battlefield. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else could we think of? It's TA. So there's a lot of decent I'm looking at a list of Simic lands here. I mean, there's a lot of good lands that don't enter tapped or do enter tap. I'm looking to see if there's any creature lands. Yeah, things like Thornwood Falls would make sense, stuff like that. Okay. So let's think about cards that deal with lands. Okay.
Cards that deal with lands.
So wanting to have lots of lands. So Splendid Reclamation. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The Embodiment of Insight. Yeah.
Vigilance.
Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target land you control become a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. Okay.
That is a pretty good creature.
Remnant Excavator. Okay.
You play that.
Oh. And the stupid thing is, I haven't been adding these. Sorry. You may play lands from your graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay, let me Embodiment of Insight. Let's add that. Yeah, Splendid Reclamation. Let's see. We've done Sylvan Advocate. Okay. So Sylvan Advocate, as long as you control 6 or more lands, and a land creature, and the land creatures get +2/+2. Okay.
More. It also get +2/+2.
Yeah. And of course, if you can afford the other Tatiova, T-A-T-Y, the Methalic Druid, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Let's see here. Druid. All right. So, Druid class. Whenever a land enters battlefield under your control, you gain a life. You may play an additional land each of your turns, and target land you control becomes a creature with haste. So that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Let's see here. What else? Thinking what? Tireless Tracker. Okay. Okay, this has got landfall. And it's good because you get clues, so you can draw more cards. You're going to be doing a lot of stuff with land, so you're going to have a lot of land. So that makes sense. Azusa. How do you spell Azusa? A-Z-U.
Azusa.
Lost but seeking. Okay. So you have the ability to put more lands into play.
Yeah, you can play 3 lands each turn.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's see here. Okay. Okay, Nissa Who Shakes the World. I mean, I've got this as an Oathbreaker commander.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And you can make a land creature.
Yeah, you can make land creatures. Let's see. Vitu-Ghazi. Awakening of Vitu-Ghazi. This was one of your. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my premier. Yeah.
Yeah. Earth Surge. You don't know this card very much. Each land gets +2/+2 as long as it's a creature. Okay. As we are talking about it,
yes.
S-Y. Sylvan A-W-A. Sylvan Awakening. All right. So Sylvan Awakening, until your next turn, all lands you control become 2/2 elemental creatures with reach, indestructible, and haste. And okay. Now, of course, anything that fetches lands would make sense, right? So something like burgeoning. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Okay. And let's see what. I don't know about this. Or enchant land, untap this land during each other player's untap step. Okay, this might be pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Of course, Seaborn.
Seaborn Muse.
Is it SEEDB? How do you spell it? Seaborn.
And Seed and Born.
Okay, Seed.
It's the
you're the one that plays it all the time.
Okay. It's SEED Born. That's one word.
Oh, there it is. Seaborn Muse. Okay. I was typing it in, but it just wasn't coming up. Other cards are like Cultivate, boom. Let's see. The Rampant Growth. Rampant Growth. Let's see. Kodama's Reach. I mean, we're just going through the list of Kodama's Reach. Let's see. Okay, if you are going, if we're going to have Ramonette Excavator and stuff like that, we can also get rid of lands. So, yeah, excuse me. So Harrow.
You can sacrifice a land and put it.
Two basics.
Mm-hmm. On the battlefield. I thought it was just one. And put two.
Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield.
Then shuffle.
Okay. What is the something of Zendikar? That doubles the land mana. It is Zendikar Resurgent.
Oh.
Whenever you tap a land for mana, add 1 mana. Okay. Whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. This is a possibility. I don't know if it's as good as I think it is. Okay, let's think about landfall as well. Yeah, we can go with something like Lotus Cobra. That's pretty neat. And I can't. Oh, what is it? Courser Crewfix. Courser Crewfix.
I haven't played that card in quite a while.
Yeah. but you play with the top of your library revealed. You may play the top of your card if it's a land, and you gain a life. Let's see, what else is in the Crucifix thing? No. Okay, none of those would work. So the Courser of Crucifix is the
Okay.
There was also this that came out, the Tireless Provisioner.
Relators. I create a food.
Or a treasure token.
Ooh.
So, I mean, yeah.
If you're low on life.
Or you low on life, or if you need more treasure. I mean,
that's interesting.
Let's see. What is yeah. This is
Avengers and the card.
Yeah. Avengers in the car, definitely, because
when it enters, you're getting 7 or more plans.
Okay, now take a look at what we're doing here. This is a 2-color commander, and look at all the cards we're putting in. They're all green. Every last one of them is pretty much green.
We're gonna need some blue.
Well, maybe we can make this a heavy green deck, because there's ways that we can take the green mana and turn it blue.
Like the Lotus Cobra.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Springleaf Druid. Yeah. Or Spring Bloom Druid. Okay. You may sacrifice a land. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. It's basically the same thing as that other one, right?
As Harrow.
As Harrow, yeah.
Harrow?
Yeah. What else?
Let's see.
Yeah. You may put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. When it dies, put all land cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield tap.
Oh! Wow.
Now, let's go through the other Nisses. It might help. Because I'm thinking Nissa Voice of Zendikar. Because no, maybe it wasn't this one. There's one that created land creatures. All right, I'll still. Yeah.
It shakes the world.
Yeah, we already put that one in. Let's see. We're going down the list. No, not Vastwood. There's Nissa, search your library up to 3 basic land cards. No.
Against that.
Nature's Artisan, creatures you control. World Waker.
Target land becomes a 4/4.
Or elemental, yes. That one. It's Vital Force, right? Untap target land you control until your next turn. It becomes a 5/5 elemental creature. Yeah,
Oh.
that's the one that I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay. I think we'll need some blue.
Yeah, we'll get to the blue. There's also,
Even though I'm not a blue person.
yeah. What's the? No, this is Golgari.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Nissa that was Simic? No, maybe not.
I think so.
Let's see. What else we've got here? Okay. Let's see. We've got. As in other creatures. Multani. This one. It gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land card in your graveyard. Return 2 lands you control from to their owner's hands, and you can return Multani back.
Ooh.
Let's see. There's we did Kodama's Reach. Let's take a look. Target creature. No. I'm just looking on the word Kodama. Yeah, we got Kodama's Reach. Kodama's South spell. Whenever you play a spirit or an arcane. Yeah, no. Of the center trees, power and toughness are equal to the number of spirits. No. Of the north tree, can't be the target spells. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put it from your hand onto the battlefield. It will work, but I don't know that it's going to help a lot. Okay. So all these lands are elementals.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So whenever it or another elemental enters the battlefield.
Now that would be now if the land is already on the battlefield and you turn it into an elemental, sorry, it did not enter the battlefield. But if you have something that says, all lands become elemental creatures, and then you do something like Ramonette Excavator, where you pull, or was it not Reclamation? Sorry, the Splendid Reclamation, where all those lands come from your graveyard and enter the battlefield, they immediately become elemental creatures. Then this would make sense. It's not quite as good So we're thinking we need to do some more. Okay, hang on. While I'm thinking about Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. Uh, so as long as there's 3 or more land cards in your graveyard, it gets a +2/+2. Sacrifice a land, search your library for a land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped.
Land.
Any land card.
Any land.
So that will get you your lands. Let's see here. Thinking about creature spells. That okay. This all right. What about Halimar? Halimar, let's see, it's not this one. That's the ally one.
Yeah.
This is Island Walk, but this one, Tidecaller.
Lands you control have flying.
Land creatures have flying, and you may return target card with Awaken from your graveyard to your hand. So we need to look for Awaken cards that, because the Awaken will awaken a land, right?
Yeah.
So let's add that. So we want to search here in Scryfall for where the type, not the type line, where we have Awaken and it's blue or green, including these colors. Let's try that. Search with these options. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Okay.
You can do it.
All right. It is not liking that. Okay. Okay. So there's a Clutch of Currents.
Bouncy.
Yeah, okay. So let me bring that up. Clutch. I didn't really like the Awaken because it was just like so expensive. If you cast, so you cast it for blue, but then if you cast this spell for 4 and a blue, you also put 3/1/1 counters on target land you control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental with haste, and it's still a land. I think that's supposed to be a land. Let's see. We have Coastal Discovery. So these. See. Oh, oops. What happened here? Oh, this. Oh, A. All right. So this is draw 2 cards.
Cards.
Okay. Here's
So
Earthen Arms has Awaken.
do counters on target permanent.
Yes. Now, you can put those 2 counters on a land, and then you can awaken it with 4. So for 7, you're basically turning it into a
6/6.
yeah. Let's see here. What else do we have that has Awaken? Heart the Water. Ah, yes. I remember that. Part the Water Veil. All right. So take an extra turn after this one. All right. I think we even have that card. Okay.
But it's very so expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive. We're going to be trying to put down as many lands as possible. Okay, so Rush of Ice is 1. Tap target creature. If it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. It's Frost Links or whatever you want to call it. But then you can cast it for this. You also put in, yeah, you get a 3/3. Scatter to the winds. Scatter to the winds. Okay. So counter target spell. I mean, it's a normal counter spell ish, but if you do it for that, then you can awaken. So really, that's all of the awaken cards. I searched. Let me see. Leig. No, it's LIE. Liege. Is it Liege of the Tangles? All right. Whenever Liege of the Tangle deals combat damage to a player, you may choose any number of target lands you control and put an awakening counter on each of them. Each of those lands is an 8/8 green elemental creature for as long as it has an awakening counter on it. They're still lands.
Oh!
And this shows up as a 60-cent card.
Anything. That's a bad card.
Let's see here. Awakener Druid. Take a look at this. When it enters battlefield, target forest becomes a 4/5 green tree folk creature. Okay. So it's not an elemental.
It's not an elemental.
But it is, it's still a land creature.
Yeah.
Because it has both a creature type and a land type in it. Okay. All right. So thinking of Rivals of Ixalan. Awaken Amalgam. All right. So its power and toughness are each equal to the number of differently named lands you control. We'll probably have quite a few different lands, differently named lands in there.
Forest, Island.
But, you know, we're going to have a bunch of Simic Buddy lands. Because we'll probably want to put in just about everything. in there. So this is a possibility. All right, let's see if anybody's chatting. No, nobody's saying anything while we're doing this. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. What else do we want to do? We want to instants and sorceries. So you want blue. Counterspell.
Counterspell. Just
Okay. Counterspell. Opt.
Opt.
Yeah.
I opt to do that.
Anticipate. Just thinking. Crop rotation.
Land.
Remember, we're going to have a bunch of things that the land doesn't matter if it's in the graveyard or on the battlefield. Walls. Okay, you want to close your door real quick. Your mom's getting. Okay, so Kamal's Will. This is a super cheap card from Commander Legends. Okay, choose one. If you control a commander, you may choose both. Until end of turn, any number of target lands you control become 1/1 elemental creatures with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. So if we have Kamal's Will, there's also Kamal, Heart of Krosa. At the beginning of combat on your turn, creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain trample. And then until end of turn, target land you control becomes a 1/1 elemental creature with vigilance, indestructible, and haste. And it's still a land. Do we? No, we can't do that. Now the problem with this is, well, no, he's not that expensive. Right. He may be all summons. Yeah, then each player puts a 2/2 green bear. Okay, now this one, I remember. You remember this one?
Vaguely. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may put a number of land card, land and or legendary and permanent, with conversion cost X or less from among them onto the battlefield.
And put the rest in the graveyard. So when you look at a whole bunch of cards, you're going to be throwing all of them onto the battlefield, all the lands onto the battlefield.
So that's a definite.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right. Most of the blue is going to be counter spells, like negate and negate. You can do Arcane Denial. Let's see. Counter. Okay. There's also unwind. So counter target non-creature spell, then untap those lands that you just tapped.
It's like a free, basically.
Yeah. Oh. Here's one. Return of the Wild Speaker.
Non-human creatures.
Your lands are non-human.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Of course, things like it might help if brainstorm,
of course.
Yeah, let's see. Okay. With unwind, there was also rewind. Counter target spell, untap up to 4 lands.
Up to 4 lands.
Should we put somewhere between a $60 to $90 card in there?
No.
Why? We've got 3 of them.
Oh, we got 3?
Yeah, I think we've got 3 of them. Yeah, we don't have to put that in there. All right, that's that. Let's see. How about Gush?
Return to islands you can control. It's understand.
Rather than pay the 5 and draw 2 cards.
Which one?
Yeah. Thinking about it's the same thing. It's just one of the, all right, we'll do that one. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. I mean, I'm refraining from putting in Cyclonic Rift.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because Cyclonic Rift, does it say non-land? Let's bring it up. Return target non-land permanents you don't control to its owner's hands. I mean, yeah, I mean it's an obvious, and there's also obvious things like force of negation. Okay, it's a $30 to $60 card or whatever. We don't need that. So yeah, those would be things that we could put in. Okay. Consuming Tide.
Each player chooses non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hand. Then
Draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Okay, you're not throwing out a bunch of creatures.
oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a few planeswalkers in here. There are some creatures. Let's sort by type detailed. We've come up with 23 creatures, which is pretty low, I think. And we still need to balance this out. But yeah, I think Consuming Tide would be, oops. There, Consuming Tide. Let's see. Consuming a return target creature to its owner's hand. Splice. No. Let's see. Okay. There is another Tide. Devastation Tide. Miracle card.
Oh, return all non-land permanents
to their owner's hands for 5, and then Miracle. Yeah, you do it for 2. Okay, did we do we did Rude Awakening, didn't we? There's a sorcery. Where's the sorceries? Find the sorceries, Philip. We didn't do Rude Awakening. Rude Awakening. Right? So you can untap all lands you control, or until the end of turn, lands you control become 2/2s. And choose both if you pay the entwine cost. So you would have to pay 4 green plus 2 and a green.
Okay.
Let's see. Urban. Okay. Did we do the urban burgeoning? No, we didn't do that. Draw 3 cards.
You may play additional land.
Yeah, that's in the Elspeth versus whatchamajiggy deck. We did. Did we do Coastal Breach? We did Coastal Discovery. CO. It's not getting the okay. So Coastal Tower is not Coastal Drake. Coastal Discovery. We've got that one. Whenever creature can do this combat to opponent, you may draw a card. Coastal Wizard. Coastal Hornclaw. Coastal Breach. Undaunted. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Let's see. There's other return all non-land. Tears? Is it Flood of Tears? Yeah, it's Flood of Tears. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. If you return 4 or more non-token permanents you control, this way you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Oh.
Yeah, 85-cent card. Come on. I can build a deck on $20. Trust me. Uh,
I think
let's
we
see.
need and do some more in creatures.
I don't know. I think we might be pretty decent on creatures. Um, um, I'm in sorcery mode right now. Right. There's Summer Bloom.
Play up to 3 additional.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So if you're popping things back to hands and you need the ability to do, I mean, there's other bloom. Let's see. Let's go down the list here. Mana Bloom.
As
Yeah, Bloom Tender. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color.
okay.
So you're adding 2. All right.
Yeah.
Fungal Bloom. That won't work. Bloom Hulk. That's proliferate. Why not? You're putting counters on yeah. So proliferate is a potential thing, but I don't think we ought to muck it around. I think what we're doing is we're picking pretty decent. Okay. So the Vernal Bloom, whenever a forest is tapped, it gets an extra green. Essex. First time you would create 1 or more tokens. We're not creating tokens. In fact, there's no token generation in this at all.
That won't work.
Yeah.
That won't work.
Yeah. So that's all the blooms. Let's see. What's some of the other LOA? Loam Dryad. Tap an untapped creature you control. Add 1 mana. That's okay. This is a way of creating mana of another color.
Okay.
So return up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard to your hand. Maybe. Land of War, add 1 mana of any color. Target land you control becomes an elemental creature.
Oh yeah.
Loam Dweller, we already did that. Loam Shaman enters the battlefield. Target player shuffles any number of target cards from their graveyard into their library. Okay. This one right here, Loaming Shaman. All right. It is not for you to shuffle your graveyard in. It is for that other target player that plays with their graveyard. It's like, oh, here, let me help you out. Okay, so there's another one of your creatures.
So it's basically.
Yeah. Okay, that won't work. All right, let's think of the word Vastwood. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's reasonable. It's a reasonable land to have in there. Okay. put one counter on a target creature, or it's a land. Okay, that makes sense. Vastwood, kicker, target creature can't be the target of spells. If it was kicked, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Vastwood, dies, you may distribute those. So it enters the battlefield with X counters, and then you can move those counters around. Maybe. The Nissa Vastwood Seer on the other side. I put a legendary green elemental creature token, Awakened World, onto the battlefield. I mean, Nissa Vastwood Seer, maybe.
When target land becomes XX elemental until end turn.
And where the number of allies you can, yeah, we're not doing an allies deck, so that's not even good. Vastwood Surge, did we already do that? Yes, we did that. Enchant land. It is a 6/4 green elemental creature token. It's still a return that card to its owner's hand. And that's just vanilla. Let's search for non-land that's too big. This is in the Princess Twilight Sparkle attempt with Discovery.
Oh, yes.
Each opponent may search the library for a land card and put it onto the battlefield. For each opponent who searches this way, you get the additional lands. Okay. Temp with reflections. We don't need that. I mean, you're not doing duplicates.
Harvest season.
Harvest season. You see harvest season.
Oh, harvest. Harvest season. It's right there.
Okay. Hang on.
There's a library for the X basic land cards for X and tapped creatures.
I was thinking this is also in the Princess Twilight Sparkle deck. Starting with you, each player may pay any amount of mana. Each player searches his or her library for up to X basic land cards. I mean, if we're doing a bunch of basic lands, then that's definitely a card to put in there. Because think about it, a lot of people, when they play the higher powered games, they're not putting a bunch of basics in there. Let's see here. I was watching Command Zone. talking about Curse of the Swine.
Exile X and creatures for each creature. And they get a boar, a 2/2 boar.
Yes. We're going to be doing a bunch of land. And we want, so you can exile their big creatures, and yeah.
I always thought that card was bad because it's two blue and X.
Yeah. So for 3, you can exile 1 card, and then they get a 2/2 boar. For 4, you get. I mean, remember we're trying to get as much land onto the battlefield as possible. This is a lands matters deck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, come on. Under. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library. Draw a card. So you do this in order, okay? You can look at the top 3 cards. So it's basically a scry 3.
Scry 3?
Yeah, so you're doing a scry 3. If you don't like those, you may shuffle your library. Yeah. And then you draw a card.
Okay.
So Ponder's pretty neat. It's kind of expensive though. I mean, it's like a $4 card or something like that. Let's see. Okay. Thank you. Oh, well, I mean, it makes sense. Windfall?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, that's a lot of stuff. Why don't we think about artifacts?
Yes.
Okay. Point agreed. We're doing a landfall deck. Now that helps other people out as well.
But you're drawing.
Yes, and we're putting in a bunch. Let's see.
So if the boots is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I always say this. This is the no-brainer. Crucible of Worlds. Now, it is a $30 card.
Yes.
With good reason.
With good reason.
Yeah. Now, the Animist. Sort of the Animist. Okay. Yeah. Remember when we got a whole bunch of these out of a promo binder because they were under $5? Let's see. Okay.
Oh, man.
So, how about this? Sacrifice the land, you gain 2 life.
There you go.
Yeah. Now this is one that a lot of people forget because they think it's a black card because it says Black Blade on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can make this into a bazillion.
Bazillion.
Yeah. Whenever creature you control deals combat damage, you may draw a card. And you can force them to attack. I was thinking that this did more with the land.
It's whenever a creature
deals combat damage. Yeah. Now, I mean, yeah, it would make sense. But if we're going budget, that's not going to work. I mean, it's like, oh well, everything is SW. Swiftfoot boots. Yeah.
lightning green.
Lightning Greaves. Okay, here is should that go in there? Should a Soul Ring go into this deck?
No.
I don't think so. You're right. Okay.
Oh, Orlando said no to a Soul Ring.
Yeah.
Each non-token creature you control is also +1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. I don't get it.
Okay, so the legend rule doesn't apply. Makes sense, okay? Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. So you could have multiple copies of that on the battlefield. And so each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1. So this will get +1/+1. All right, no big deal. That's not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is each non-token creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other creature you control with the same name as that creature. Forest. How many forests will we have on the battlefield that will be creatures? 8? Okay, they all get +8/+8. On top of their +3/+3, and their +1/+1, and their whatever plus whatever. Okay? Did I didn't do the Seer Sundial, did I? Because that's a landfall. Seer Sundial is landfall. you can draw a card. And there's not a lot of artifacts that I can think of that we would want to do. Those were yeah. Sorry, Jinzo. We haven't been looking at the chat. We've been
sorry.
Yeah. Are you dressing up as a rhino for Halloween?
No, I'm not. I'm being one of the Musketeers.
The fourth one.
The fourth one, yes.
And if you know the answer to that,
Right?
yeah, I don't know.
You probably won't.
Okay, let's think about enchantments. So we did we want to think about landfall enchantments, I think. There's not that many.
Zendkar's Royal.
Or which is okay. I mean, you create a 2/2 green elemental creature token each time. Let's pull that up.
Elemental creature.
And in fact, we looked at that before. And it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, you're making a token, but that's not our main strategy. Or okay, or you can do retreat to Coral Helm. Okay.
Whenever land enters,
you may tap or untap a creature or scry one.
That's
Yeah.
That's definite.
Yeah, but it's also not a. I mean, it's about $1 card. This shows up as 271, and that's not really the case. I mean, it's cheaper than that. We already put burgeoning in. Did we put in exploration? I thought we did. No, we didn't. There's other retreats. Retreat to, what is it? Kazazandu. Put 1/1 counter on a target creature, or you gain 2 life.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a definite.
Yeah, so this is a landfall deck. Oh, hey! It's Starfury. What's happening here? Long time no see. What color is this deck going to be? Landfall? Exploration is an expensive card. Okay, what we did is we went through Dominaria United and we opened up, 10, 12 packs or whatever. And we went through and we picked the worst legendary creatures that we had in there. And we ended up with 4 of them, and then we randomly rolled, and we had Tatiova, there it is, Tatiova, Steward of the Tides. And we rolled twice because this one was the best of the worst. And it's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's try to build a commander deck. So we're going through and we're picking the cards. And actually, this is going to end up becoming more or less a budget deck. But we're going through and picking a lot of cards. And it's, Yargle. Yeah. We can't do Yargle. Not in our colors. Okay.
And plus it's vanilla.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been going through and doing land ramps and we've been EXP. What's this one? Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a quest counter on Galendi, remove 3 quest counters, and sacrifice it. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped, or into your library. Okay, we've got a bunch of other ways of getting land out, but I mean, this is a cheap way of doing it.
Yeah.
It's a little. Yeah, so we're kind of thinking about enchantments right now. This
one. And put it
2 cards in a graveyard, and then you may return a creature card from the graveyard to your hand. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Roaring Earth. That's pretty recent. So whenever land enters battlefield on your control, put 1/1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. We're gonna have a bunch of
creatures.
Yeah. Or you can channel this and put X 1/1 counters on target land you control. So you can make one. How's that? Yeah, there is a lot of self-mill in this. Yeah. So, let's see. What other blue enchantments?
Oh, um, the one on your,
What?
that one.
Favorable winds?
Yeah, favorable ones. Yeah.
Favorable winds. Okay, let's see what favorable. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. We do have some ability to make the lands fly, but I don't know that. I don't know that that would work that great. Let's see. We
I
could.
mean, this already gives it. Gives the lane.
This is Steward of Elements. Okay. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card. Yeah, this is another one. Okay. So we've got quite a bit of creatures, enchantments, instants, all sorts of things to choose from. We need to think about lands. And we already put, so far we've only put in Lumbering Falls and the Oran Reef of the Vastwood. So, let's see. Yeah, Lair of the Hydra. But that's kind of an expensive. I mean, it's above $2. Lair of the Hydra. Okay. So, if you control 2 or more other lands, it enters tapped. Okay. But if it's comes out early, now you can turn it into a creature until end of turn. Let's see here. Now there's also in there is the Hall of the Storm Giants. So that's the blue one. All right, $2. We could let's put in yeah, let's put in Besieger. $30 card. And you think, oh no, those are super expensive. Well, let's see here. There's a Besieger who endures. No good. And there's a couple Virginines. There's 2 more. Yeah. Oh, and look.
There's $90 right there.
Yeah. Well, actually, they can't see that at the moment. Let's shift over to this. There. So. Procedure.
Procedure.
Yeah. These are different ones. They're and we've got more of them. We've got like 6 or more.
People thought, oh no, that's junk. That's junk. I can do that.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, unfortunately, we don't have a lot of screen real estate here, so we can't read the chat while we're going along. I've got an idea how to fix that, though. with this little monitor right here. But we still need to hook it up and hopefully not overload our circuit in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have. You were talking about Raminet or excavator or something, and that's the Raminet excavator, which is, where is it? There it is, Raminet excavator. You may play lands from your graveyard.
Yeah.
And Talrand. Let's see. Talrand. Talking about this Talrand. Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we've got a lot of focus on our on making lands and stuff like that. What's going on here? Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know. We've got. Let's find 2 more cards.
Yeah.
But the thing is, let's add lands. Let's do. We want the combination of these to be about 30 something or other. Okay, there's 30. Apply. Okay, so with our current distribution, that gives us 10 islands, 19 forests. We got a total 33 lands. Well, we can add some more lands. But just to do this, to figure out, okay, what we need to cut out. We need to cut out 27 cards if we're only doing 33 lands. We're doing a lot more lands than that, aren't we? We want this to be like 45.
Oh, man.
We don't want to have a problem at all casting anything. And, we want the ability to get those lands out, or get those lands doing landy sort of things.
Landy sort of things.
So I would say, all right, let's think about any other lands that would make sense, that are, let's see, think of blue lands or green lands, or I mean, there's all sorts of colorless lands. And we're not even doing any mana artifacts, are we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can do like Yavimaya Coast. Yeah, let's see what stuff here. Because your commander is triple color pips. Yeah, I pretty much wouldn't want to use really any colorless lands unless. Is there some reason why we need to have like a wreck tower in here? Do we need to have a rec tower in here?
No.
Yeah, this is kind of like, yeah, maybe. Okay. No, it's not tide pool. It's tangle pool. Tangle pool bridge. All right. What makes? Oops. Why did it do so many of those? All right. Why would we put that in here?
It's indestructible.
Indestructible. Yes, you animate that, and okay, I have an indestructible creature coming at you. Let's see if I can pop this back out. Yeah. Let's see. And we could always put in things like breeding pool and stuff like that, but that's expensive lands. Yeah, I would put in, where is it? Hinterland Harbor. $5? Really? They're that expensive? We got a pile of them. Um. Oh. Warrenwood Falls. Because it is when you search for a forest or an island card, you can put that into play. Let's see. There's is it Dream Root Cascade? What? That's $5? Really? Okay, let's minus that out. Okay. It's the oops. That second M didn't kick in. All right. Okay. This is a cheap land. You can reveal a forest or an island card, and it doesn't come in tapped.
Okay.
We can do like the Temple of Mystery. We could. Let's put in a tropical island. Right? There we go. We'll put in a tropical island.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? It's about an $800 card. Yeah, something like that. And do we have a Plaza of Heroes? I thought we had that. I don't know. Plaza of Heroes. It's an expensive card, but it would count one. Exile. Okay. I mean, it's basically a command tower without being a command tower.
Uh,
Uh, of course, yeah, it makes sense. Put in a command tower. We've got a pile of those. Yeah, the Evolving Wilds,
Flowing Wilds.
Terramorphic Expanse. Terramorphic Expanse. There, yeah, the Path of Ancestry. Yeah.
Can you just grab one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, when the mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander,
Oh, so you...
then you can scry one. But I think we only put in like one other merfolk. And I think we might have another druid. So that gives us 40 lands. That I don't know why, but I think 40 lands feels right.
Okay.
Which means we gotta get rid of 35. Yeah. Yeah, casting the commander would scry as well. So yeah, 40 lands feels about right. And okay, so we have down here 5 different Nisses. I think 3 makes more sense. And this is just a gut feeling sort of thing. And keep in mind that the likelihood of you ultimate uh, becomes a problem. Okay, Nissa Worldwaker is an inexpensive Nissa. Nissa Who Shakes the World is still fairly inexpensive. Nissa Vital Force. I mean, now Voice of Zendikar is, I think, super cheap because they had a Voice of Zendikar deck. Yeah, a dual deck or something like that. But the thing is, this is the one that, I mean, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control, which is neat, but it doesn't actually animate anything. So I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking we get rid of this one. And the Nissa Steward of Elements is, it's less than $1. It is a super cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, untap up to 2 target lands you control. They become, yeah. So if you can cast this late in the game, you create 2 elemental lands real quick. And it's, this is showing up at 70 cent. I wonder what, yeah. So this is a definite keep because it is super cheap. And I think it was one of those came in like the promo, the free promo packs for new players or something like that. So there's a flood of these on the market. So out of that, let's see, Vital Force. And this is Shakes the World and World Waker. I think World Waker is I mean it's not until end of turn. You +1 and you turn it into a land. Yeah. Now this is until your next turn. It becomes a 5/5 elemental. This one, target land you control becomes a 4/4. It's still a land.
And
So this is by far and away better than Vital Force. And then this is Shakes the World is great. So let's go ahead and get rid of Vital Force. Now we still may get rid of these because of cost. I mean, we want to keep the deck under. I mean, ideally we'd want to keep it under $20, but you know, if we can be a little more realistic and say, oh, under 50. Let's start with Embodiment of Insight. Embodiment of Insight. Yeah. We put that in there, didn't we?
We did.
What?
We did.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's kind of funny going backwards. You know, enchantments. We've got 10 enchantments. Burgeoning, super expensive card. We've got a pile of them. I'd love to put it in there. But let's get that out. Exploration, expensive card. Urban Burgeoning. 10 cent. So this would allow you to put this on a land, and it untaps each. You attack with it, and then it untaps each turn. So it's like its own built-in Seaborn Muse, right?
Yeah.
Druid class. That's a 50-cent card. Roaring Earth, 16-cent card. Retreat to Corn. Okay. This is a $2 or $3 card. This is a 20-cent card. Earth Surge, 30-cent card. Mending of Dominaria, 30-cent. Syndicar Resurgent, apparently really expensive. And people were throwing these cards away. And now it's expensive. Let's get that out. Let's see. All right. Return of the Wild Speaker. Great card. It's $1. It makes sense. Gush is reasonable. Awakening of Vitu-Ghazi. We've got a pile of those. Rewind. Good. Kamal's Will. Aetherize. Unwind. Scatter the Winds. Harrow. Negate. Counterspell. Arcane Denial. Okay, Arcane Denial is kind of expensive. I don't know why. It is a common. We have a pile of these. It's a common freaking card. And the next thing, the neat thing to do with this is counter your own freaking spell.
Yeah, so
It's like, okay, I'm going to up, but I'm going to counter the spell, and then I draw 2 cards at my next upkeep, and then I and draw an extra card. That's why Arcane Denial is so. Oh, you said Wild Growth. I don't know that we need to add things. I had thought about it. Excuse me. I thought about it at one point. And I don't know. Yeah, we're going to have to close off the stream here pretty soon. Yeah.
Because
Well, no, because it's past time for your medication.
oh,
But let's see here. I can't believe that that card is that expensive as a common, but it is used a lot in Pauper, so it kind of makes sense. Um, I want to keep it in for the moment. Anticipate, super cheap. Vines of the Vastwood. This is used a lot in Pauper as well, uh, because it's basically heroic intervention for a target creature.
yeah.
Yeah, it gets +4/+4, and I mean it's only a buck. Vastwood, all encounter on target creature. That's pretty reasonable. Opt, crop rotation. Um, and that's search for a land card, any land card, doesn't matter. Brainstorm, super cheap. Okay. Okay, these are the yeah. Coastal Breach. It's an expensive one. Part the Water Veil. I think this is a lot cheaper than this is showing up as. Um, it doesn't make sense that that is that expensive because it is so. Um,
I think it's because of the um and
okay, we can cut crop rotation. Yeah, but we want this for the awakening ability, and yeah, part of the water veil. It's showing up. It's 221. Yeah. Um, it is. I mean, it is really expensive because you're, awakening for 9 to take an extra turn. I think we have Glacial Chasm. Yeah, I'm gonna drop part the water veil. Flood of Tears, reasonable. Urban Evolution, very reasonable. Rude Awakening, reasonable. Yeah, Devastation Tide. Yeah, it's be one of the more expensive cards in the deck, but it's fine. Tempt with Discovery. That gets you more lands than your opponents. This isn't the deck for that, I don't think. Splendid Reclamation, definite keep. Consuming Tide. Yeah, it's bounce. Coastal Discovery. Yes, there's no problem with that. Windfall, expensive. It's great. It would be great fun, but yeah. Sylvan Awakening, we could probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, Kodoma's Reach, of course. Harvest Season, yeah, that would work. Cultivate, Summer Bloom. We did, yeah, Rampant Growth, Life from the Roam. Well, Windfall is expensive, as in it's over like $2, and so we have to really think about things with that. Earthen Arms, super cheap. Curse of the Swine, Rush of Ice, Ponder. Ponder is, yeah, a $4 card. So we'll get rid of that. Oops. Collective Voyage, very expensive in this respect. Clutch of Currents, super cheap. All right. Artifacts, Seer Sundial, Biden of Thassia, we'll get rid of that. Mirror Box. Okay, Mirror Box is not $1.78 or 79. Mirror Box is like 40 cents on Cardsphere. Yeah, you can get those suckers super cheap because we've gotten a pile of them. Horn of Greed, I'd love to have it in there. We've got one. Nope. Crucible World, obviously, that's super expensive. Sword of the Amnest, I
think we should keep that.
Yeah, I mean, it's showing up as a $9 card. We got a pile of them, and they were a lot cheaper than that. Swift Lightning Greaves is why is Lightning Greaves $7?
Why?
Yeah, yeah, we've got so many in various commander decks. Blackblade Reforged, Zurin Orb, Tangle Pool Bridge. This is a land, but it shows up as an artifact because it comes up as artifacts first. Don't know why. Okay. All right. Let's go through these quickly. We want to keep Kamal because he's kind of important to this. Avenger of Zendikar is actually pretty cheap. Multani is cheap. This one is expensive, so we will take that one out. This Tatiova is yeah, we could possibly do that. Seaborn Muse, gotta get rid of it, unfortunately. Love to have it in there.
Oh yeah.
Embodiment of Insight, World Shaper, Tireless Tracker. That's not that expensive. Tireless Provisioner, our 7-cent Commander. Risen Reef. I know Risen Reef is not $2 because we can go to Cardsphere and get Risen Reef for like 50 cents. Remnant Excavator, same thing with that. We've got a whole, there's a whole bunch of them. Loaming Shaman, Corsair Crew Fix. I think in this case it's that particular version is $2. This is super cheap. Azusa, that's an expensive card, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, Ramanad. Okay. Okay. Awakener Druid. Yeah. Sylvan Advocate, that used to be expensive. Lotus, Cobra. I thought this was a lot cheaper than that. Llanowar Loudspeaker, Lone Elvish Reclaimer. Okay, so we're at 117 cards. We got 17 more to cut.
Oh man.
But let's do a quick price list. We're going to end up, this comes up at $107. We're going to get it down by quite a lot. Life from the Loam. We left that in there. Okay. All right. We're going to end up. I will get rid of Life from the Loam. That makes sense. To keep this budget deck. Instance, sorceries. Where's Life from the Loam? There it is. I think. All right. So
it's still in there.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I clicked that, hit minus. Okay. So Yeah, puts it down below 100. We're going to go ahead and massage this deck and come up with a finished product. And how about we see if we can build it and play it against another one that we make. Okay?
Yeah.
And we'll probably do that next week and next Sunday. So let's
Well, thank you for watching this worst commander deck, and I have more videos coming out soon. So until then, Rhino out.